Hi, it's Angel here from Angel Designs, and today we are going to take a look at a nice border that you can put on a finished project. Sometimes a project, and I've been guilty of posting these, they don't come with borders for your blankets because a lot of times the projects just leave the option of what border you want to put on up to you. So sometimes it's hard to see what options are out there and what you might like to put on it that might look proper, look nice. So this is just a wavy kind of like shell. It's kind of a shell variation. I don't really have a name for it, but anyway, it looks nice. I just did it on one of the granny squares we had done in a previous tutorial. So this would be nice on a baby blanket or just any kind of a blanket or throw that you make. So nothing too complicated here. You need to know how to do double crochet, single crochet, and a slip stitch, and just your basic chaining as well. Nothing too fancy, but it gives you a nice little edging. I'm going to use just worsted weight yarn, and I'm using a 5.0 millimeter hook. And I'm just going to use one of the samples that we had done when we were making a previous tutorial, just to show you the edge. If you want to use different yarn than that, you can easily just you can use whatever yarn you were making your project out of, and just make sure you use the appropriate size hook that's recommended on the yarn label for that, okay? And it should work out beautifully. I've never made this, well, just a little disclaimer, I've never done it with a bulky weight yarn. Not saying it couldn't be done, I don't know how it would turn out. I've done it with a 4-weight, a 3-weight, like looks fine. I've never done the big chunky yarns. So if you do make it with a chunky yarn, let me know how it turns out, because I am curious. So anyway, let's get into this, shall we? I'll just set this to the side for now. So I'm just going to use this as a sample we made in one of the previous tutorials. So if you wanted to, you could even just do a row of single crochets all the way around first. I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to attach my yarn to my hook with a slip knot. You can do whatever is your preferred method. Then we're going to attach it to the top right corner. Then we're going to just chain one. We're going to come right back in to this first corner, first stitch we did, and put a single crochet. We're going to single crochet in the next 2. So that's a total of 3 single crochets in a row. We're going to chain 2. And this is where it gets a little different, okay? And with a bigger project, you'll have to watch what you're doing. You need to turn it, because what you're going to do is back in this first chain is slip stitch that. And I'm all tangled up in the yarn split on me. 1 second here. We're going to slip stitch that to that. We're going to chain 1, turn the work back again. Now, in that little hole that you made with your chain 2 and then slip stitching it here, we're going to put 5 double crochets in there. So that's a yarn over, hook in, yarn over and pull through, so you got your 3 loops, yarn over through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we're going to do that a few more times. So there's 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to put the links to the tutorials on the double crochet as well. So now what you're going to do is you're going to single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So you're going to go into this one here, all right, and single crochet in the next one and the next. So now that we've got that done, and you can see where the first shell is here. So now we're going to chain 2, turn the work. Now that you've got your first shell done, I want you to take a look at the bottom here. Where that start of the chain was, like you've got your 5 double crochets attached to that chain space, you're going to slip stitch in through here. Okay, I'll move up a little closer so you can see that. So where you've got your shell, you can see your 3 single crochets, and this is where that chain 2 had started that are going underneath the shells. You're going to put your hook in underneath that, yarn over, and slip stitch, and then chain 1. Turn your work back. You've now got a new loop that you can put your 5 double crochets in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just going to pull some more yarn out here. I have a bit of yarn barf going on, it seems. For those of you that aren't familiar with that term, that's when you go to pull the yarn out through the center and a whole big blob of it comes out in a knot. Okay, so now that we've got our shell made with our 5 double crochets, we're going to go back in and do 3 single crochets in the next stitches. So in through there, 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to do 2 chains, turn your work, and again, we can see where we just did our 3 single crochets. There's our shell. So in the last set of 3 single crochets, in here where you started your chain, that's where you're going to do your slip stitch. And then chain 1, turn your work back. Now you got a new loop, and you're going to put 5 double crochets in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we got our 3rd shell made. So once you get onto the pattern, the repeat here, so then it's another 3 single crochets, chain 2, turn your work, slip stitch to the base of that other, chain 1, turn it back again, new loop, 5 double crochets in that loop. Two, 3, 4, and 5. So this is what we're going to do until we get across to the corner. So if you want to press pause and get to your corner, and then I'll show you how I do my corners right back. Okay, so I just wanted to stop just a little bit before the corner just to show you here, because depending on the project that you're putting this border on, it's going to depend on the stitch counts, and it's going to depend on how it goes. So sometimes you may get up to the corner and be like, it's a weird number and it doesn't look like everything's going to fit. Don't worry about it. You can make it fit. That's one thing about crochet. It's a little forgiving, okay? You can kind of quote unquote fake it till you make it. Literally. So I'm going to do my 3 single crochets, my chain 2, and then slip stitch, chain 1, put my 5 doubles. I'm just going a little faster so we can get around this corner here. I'm going to show you how I do it. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, because you're going to want to do the 3 single crochets, correct? So you can still do that. 1, And then I didn't do a row of single crochets. This is why sometimes I recommend doing a row of single crochets around your project first, just so you can kind of see where you're going to go. So I'm just gonna 1, 2, I'm just going to evenly space mine, 3, chain your 2, then you're going to go and slip stitch same place you would before, chain 1, and put my 5 double crochets in that corner, four and 5, and then I'm going to try to space mine out here as nice as I can. I'm going to do my 3 single crochets, chain 1, 2, go back into the base of that starting shell there, slip stitch, chain 1, and put my 5 double crochets in my loop. And I'm going to show you what the corner looks like here, now that we got a couple past the corner. Maybe I'll do my next set of single crochets to kind of anchor this shell. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So see, by just keeping working around, you maintain the shape of your rectangular, square, whatever shape your project was. But the shells come around that corner really nicely when you just keep going, okay? So what I'm going to do is, if you want to pause, I'm going to work my way around and I'll show you how to finish it when you get to the end here, okay? Be right back. Okay, so I'm at the end here. And as you can see, I had an extra stitch left over. Don't panic. Yours may have worked out evenly, but you feel like you want to go in there and do something. Don't worry about it. What you're going to do is you're going to go in to the top of the first double crochet and slip stitch, and then fasten off. And then you'll weave your ends in. And it is kind of roughly, but that's how it's supposed to be. So if it doesn't, it will eventually kind of flatten out a little bit. But that's how it ends up looking. And it's very cute. It's very nice on a baby blanket, a boy or a girl one. And so this is just the wavy shell border. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I will have some other borders posted coming up in the near future, just so you have some options as to how to finish off some of your projects. So, and there is a right and a wrong side, so make sure when you're doing your border that you're putting it with the right side facing, so that it does look nice. But yeah, it's a very nice, it looks really fancy and like a professional kind of finish, but it's not difficult to do by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, so I'd like to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all the support that you've been giving the channel. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you know of anybody who would benefit from some of the videos in the channel, if they're having problems with some of their crocheting, point them in our direction. And if there's anything you'd like to see in future videos, please feel free to leave that in the comments as well, and I'll see what I can do. So that's it for today's video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one, and I hope this helped you figure out a border for your project that you may have sitting around trying to figure out how to finish it. And I will see you in the next video. Take care and happy crocheting. Bye-bye.